Yeah, that's the story of those cleans today. Holy shit. YouTube, what is up? We are back with another day, and today we got some heavy-ass cleans. We got some Blaine Broad Jumps, and we got some pause squats. We'll finish up with a couple accessories, but should be a pretty in and out day. This Friday, I just checked, we are supposed to hit 101% of our max on the cleans and the snatches. So if we're feeling good in a couple days, we are going to get after these cleans. Because I saw the heavy cleans that we had today. I'm like, well, if I'm feeling good, might as well send it today. But then I asked myself, what will Friday be like if I do that? So I looked at Fridays a little bit early. And Friday we're at 101%, so I'm gonna try and save it for that. And it'll also give me an excuse that if we suck today, we were saving it for Friday. But just finished up our Rival Nutrition pre-protein blend today, the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It's absolutely fire. Working on getting a discount code set up with them for them. So we'll have our first official kind of sponsor of the channel. So that's pretty sick. And hopefully by the time this video is out, that discount code is live and will be in the description here. But if not, it tastes good as fuck. And that's pretty much all I look for in a protein shake. If you haven't realized from the Meathead cookbook right now, I'm not in my longevity era, and hopefully I stay out of that forever, but I'm sure this video will be coded in 10 years when I'm talking about why cardiovascular health is the most important component to strength conditioning, and I'm drinking my blended smoothies in the morning. But right now, we're just focused on cleaning 405 pounds. And for that, I need to consume a lot of protein throughout the day, and my protein shakes need to taste good. And I have a lot of protein powders that taste good, and this is just one of them. I'll never try to sell you guys on stuff being magic, other than maybe the Yoakum Strength Insider. That might be a little magic for you. But it's good protein that tastes fire, and they're willing to invest low in the channel. And they send me free shit that tastes good, and it's gonna help me clean a 405. So what's not to like about them? So that's the little plug for them. Greatest spokesperson alive. Let's go hit some Blaine Broad Jumps here. All right, we're gonna do these Blaine Broad Jumps again. We're elevating the surface again. So last week we were on 20 inches. This week we're on 24 inches or what? But yeah, last week was 20 inches. I always forget what this bad box is. It's kind of a cool little box from Titan Fitness. It's like a 20, 24, 30 inch box. You really have to like stabilize the shit out of it. Otherwise it's not super stable. But we've used this box for like 4 or 5 years, and it has held up through the abuse that is the Yoakum Strength Gym. This week we're going for 24 inches. This is the new highest height I've done a Blaine Broad Jump at, because last week we did 20, and I really do enjoy the vertical projection feel that you get from these. Blaine was talking about that in one of his broad jump videos, and it's something that I get on my really good broad jumps and I don't feel on my really bad ones. It's like I rush and roll off the ground and get way too horizontal. And really trying to train in that vertical feeling, that vertical projection into these horizontal jumps is kind of a nice feel. So we're pushing these at a height. We'll continue to back up the distance, but the limiting factor here is really projecting up rather than the distance across. So let's get these, let's go. Ooh. There we go. One more here. Ooh. Let's go. Get to some cleans. All right, now we got to build up to like 330, 335-ish, I believe, on the bar today. So it's going to be heavy. We got 3 sets of 1 there. Just going to hit a couple warm-up sets. Let's go. Man, I don't know if it's because I've been cleaning after deadlift day or sprint day, and I just am feeling beat up because the first clean day is a little bit later in the week, but my powers are absolutely disgusting. Like, I feel really strong with bar, but I'm just not getting it up high enough to power it. It feels like it's slower off the gun, like it's lighter off the gun, but it's slower off the gun. It's more like brute strength rather than being able to accelerate that bar. It's driving me kind of insane. When I was weaker, I was powering 275 like it was nothing towards the end of my last max out phase. So a little bit frustrating there. We got to get it back. And I think once all the volume of everything drops off, I think we're just, again, beat up from all the volume and all the heavy stuff we've been doing with the accessory lifts, which is something we haven't done before. But the body does not feel that beat up to not power 275 cleaner. Gross. Let's go. We got to lock the fuck in, or we're going to get body today. Let's go. Oh. 335 on the bar. First set here. We gotta fucking go. We got to go, or we're gonna get buried. Let's go. Come on, bitch. Come on. Oh! Oh yeah, easy. Could have powered that. God damn, bro, we're gonna get fucking work today. All right, second set here. Don't love how the bar moving, but I love that it's moving. Let's get it. Fuck. All right, third set here. Got to man up and do it. I'm gonna keep bitching about it because it's the truth. Like the bar doesn't feel heavy. It feels like as long as I get underneath it, it's pretty clean. But I feel like I'm losing a lot on that power. Like I'm really having to dive underneath the bar, and then it feels super light, like lighter than 335 has ever felt in that moment. But the fact my pull on this, and maybe it's because I'm not doing my shrugs with my deadlifts like I was doing on K-Dot's program. Maybe that was an unlock, or maybe, and it's probably just fatigue from the 5-day-a-week program that I hopped on that has much more volume than I've done in a long time. But it's frustrating me. The pop is not there, and hopefully it comes Friday, or we're gonna get bodied. Let's go. Ooh. Yeah, that's the story of those cleans today. Holy shit. Let's get to squatting. Now we got 3 sets of 3 pause back squats. I was asked a question, and it kind of fits in well to what I was talking about with those cleans, is when do you know if fatigue is too much and it's like damaging, or if it's just a part of the program and what you're supposed to be feeling that day or in that phase, and if it's like a working block or if it's a building block versus if it's like a peaking block versus a PR block. And I don't really traditionally subscribe to like certain blocks where you're gonna PR and certain blocks where you're strictly gonna build. I think you need to leave wiggle room for both of those things to happen concurrently, because just like Angus Bradley was talking about on a recent video, the goal of training is to PR. And if you're feeling it that day and it's time to PR, like why are we not PRing that day? What are we saving that PR for when that's the entire goal? Especially if you're not like an Olympic athlete that needs to like specifically PR in one certain spot. And leaving wiggle room in your program for those things is really, really important. But to pretend while you're doing that there aren't going to be days and phases and times in your program where you're going to feel beat up, where you're going to feel not 100% because you are stimulating the organism to adapt, which takes an insane amount of input for the body to want to do, is kind of a lie. And if you're never feeling beat up, you never feel like you're pushing the envelope, you're probably just not training very hard. And on the other end of things, like you'll know when it is too much, when you are actually at a dangerous point of fatigue or your program's actually too hard, because you won't PR in anything. You'll barely fucking wake up in the morning. You won't feel like you want to go train, and you won't even be close to any of your PRs, right? So like a bar feeling heavy that day or your body feeling beat up that day like it was today and like it has been a little bit is so much different in this working phase where we're grinding, where we have a ton of volume and strength work, is so much different than pushing too far into a hole in which I can't even clean at 275. So while fatigue is a very real thing, it's also a very kind of necessary thing. And I'm not saying fatigue in the point in which you can't walk out of the gym or you can never hit a PR again. You need that wiggle room, but there will be times in your program where you do have high levels of fatigue that you need to push through, that you need to continue to show up for. And again, a piece of this is communication with your coach and communication with who's programming for you, to take away some of those doubts, to have them tell you, hey, this is a state in which it's going to be hard to PR in, not saying it's impossible, but we are 12 weeks out from a season. We are 3 months away from when you need to report to camp, and this is the time where I want you to feel a little bit beat up so that we can progress into something bigger. And I just think that open communication is an important piece. One, as an athlete, to like actually ask those questions if you are having those doubts, and one as a coach, just to make sure you take away those doubts from your athletes, hopefully preemptively, before they pop up into their heads. Just like at the gym right now, we just started hypertrophy clusters because this wave of people have never been blessed, have never been baptized by the fire of the 8x5s, the 10x4s, and the 12x3s. But this is not going to be a state and phase in which they're feeling amazing every single day. It's probably not going to be a state in which we're hitting massive sprint PRs. Sometimes you see some jump PRs in here, but it's a state in which I communicated to them like, hey, we're building a base for this next phase so that you're feeling really strong and really big during this kind of winter phase, and we're going to use that strength and the force production that you have and pile it into the next program and the next emphasis on the program. And I think that's another thing that coaches can think about, is like, it's not that the program is a hypertrophy block or a strength block or a velocity block or a peaking block. It's just certain emphases on those blocks while concurrently training everything. Again, it's not like you throw out everything, but you just emphasize certain things. And that also allows you the adaptability to kind of like tune up and tune down those things based off how the athletes are feeling. So if you really want to emphasize a hypertrophy phase for 12 weeks, but it's really just not working with your athletes, or they're getting too burnt out or too beat up, or they just need to see a sprint PR, maybe we cut that down to 9 weeks and then we start to emphasize velocity a little bit more, right? But It just gives you a little bit more leeway, and having that open conversation with your athletes is super powerful to eliminate those deaths, right? So again, fatigue is real. Just because you're fatigued doesn't mean your program's beating you up or burning you out. It just means you're probably building for something, and you just need to have an open, honest conversation with your coach if you're having those doubts, right? So let's get this set here. 3 sets of 3. Let's go. Oh yeah, let's go. Second set here. These bands are kind of bottoming me at the top. Got to keep that bar accelerating. Let's go. Let's go. Third and final set here. I was asked a question what the first piece of equipment a new high school strength coach should get. And assuming you have all of the basics, you have racks, dumbbells, a couple med balls, maybe some bands, like the foundational parts of a weight room are in place. If not, obviously getting the foundation. Some of the specialty pieces of equipment that I really think are worth investing in is one of the super cats if you can get one. Any technology that will allow you to gamify trainings, and I would just do this slowly. At St. Thomas, we just slowly did it with our budget, where one year we bought a sprint timer, the next year we bought like a vertical jump mat, and we just kind of kept reinvesting in the strength program year by year with a piece of technology, a new piece of technology. I know that stuff can get expensive, but I think if you can gamify some of the athletic movements that those athletes are doing by being able to like rank, record, and publish style of training, I think that's unbelievably powerful. If you want just a weight room piece of equipment, I think the GHR Donkey is amazing. Or just getting any GHRs in there. I know the Donkey is pretty expensive. It kind of takes up a big space in the weight room, but if you can get a couple GHRs in there, I think you can do so many things with the GHR that can just spice up your training. And then the last couple pieces, I would go game-wise. Like if you're going for field-based stuff and maybe you have a really small budget, get a couple nice like dodgeballs, frisbees, a basketball hoop, like the U-ball basketball hoop we have here, maybe some of the plastic hurdles that we have, like just really fun pieces of equipment that can keep the movement side of things super fun. I think, again, it sounds so dumb, but like a good ball for some of these games is really important. I see a lot of these coaches playing with these shitty foam balls, which again, if it's what you have, it's what you have. I just think it really does like dictate the speed of play and the intensity of the play that you have if you have a slow ball. And I think a lot of coaches put a lot of thought process into it, and it can be a $20 piece of equipment that can change a lot of the agility stuff that you're doing. And like the $300 investment we had in the U-ball portable hoop was like a game changer. It changed Mondays at the gym. Everybody wants to show up to play basketball now. So I think just small pieces of equipment like that for the movement side of stuff is really, really important. Obviously the hurdles, there's nothing that gets an athlete want to jump higher than just giving them something to jump over and compete with their buddies with. And they're like the amount of times these $100 hurdles have been used at our gym, like it's paid for itself in dividends. But just think about pieces of equipment that can add variation to your training, add fun to your training, find ways to gamify your training and bring intent to it, and that you can get a lot of bang for your buck for. And those are kind of the specific pieces that we use here nearly every single day, that the initial investment kind of sucked to make. Anytime you buy gym equipment, you're like, fuck, dude, that's kind of expensive. It's going to take a little bit of money. But then when you use it every single day, you realize just how much easier it is, the program for athletes, and how much more the athletes enjoy that session. And that's totally worth the price if you have the budget to do so, right? So let's get this third set here. Let's go. Oof. 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 Let's go. Get to some snatch deadlifts, pull-ups, and GHDs. We got a third set of these snatch deadlifts, and I gotta be completely honest, when I wrote up this workout, I forgot to write the snatch deadlifts down, so I kind of was like pacing myself through the workout. I was like, okay, all I got left is my pull-ups and my GHDs left. I'm good. Then I realized, like halfway through my squat session, that we had these snatch deadlifts, and let me tell you, there was a lot of talking to the inner bitch about not having to do those today, and my reasoning for not having to do them was nothing more than I didn't write them up on the board in the first place. Like, that's how strong your inner bitch is, bro. I literally was telling myself, oh my God, I had paced myself for this type of workout and you forgot your snatch deadlifts, and now you're gonna be tired when you do them. You're like, no shit, you'll be fucking tired during your workout, bro. Like, come on, man. So embarrassing, the voices in the head sometimes and what they tell you. And it's even more frustrating when I see an athlete fall for that voice, because goddamn, is it persuasive. It tells you a lot of bullshit. Today, it was telling me some bullshit, but we battled through it, and this is our third set here, so let's rip. Let's go. Finish up with some pull-ups and GHDs. All right, then good old faithful. We got 4 sets of 5 pull-ups. Growing the back. Getting pretty redundant, but we gotta keep grinding. Let's go. Wait, let's get some GHDs. The last thing we got today are these GHDs. Continue to build up that backside, weaponize the spine, grow some glutes and hammies, and we're gonna forge. Let's do it. Woo! That's a friggin' day. Appreciate you guys watching. Keep chopping wood. Ow! What the fuck was that?